So pretty much everything we do in life has rules. We follow rules every day. And when we're working as a house manager, there's no difference there. But the difficult thing is, no one really tells us what those rules are. We're just so used to being told the rules. We're so used to having them written down in front of us. There's no ambiguity. We know exactly what we should do, and we also know what the consequences are going to be if we don't. But when we take a job as a house manager, we're often left to work out our own rules, our own codes of conduct. So what I did was I took my metaphorical stone tablet and put down my 7 deadly sins for being a house manager. These are my 7 deadly sins for house managers and butlers. Number 1, you must never be a bully. Respect is earned. No matter how much you shout, how much you threaten people, you will never get their respect that way. The only way that you can be a leader and you can draw out the best from people is by making them like you. Fear can give people the appearance of being good at their job and working hard. But the second that the person they're afraid of is not in the room, they will make a point of not doing their job well because they don't feel valued, they don't feel happy, and the environment is bad. To me, the definition of a bully is someone who feels that their own abilities are not up to standard. So if I see someone who feels they need to bully their team, feel they need to pressurize their team, to be honest, I always think what I'm looking at is someone who doesn't know what they're doing. Number 2 is lazy. Now, it should go without saying, but sometimes it really doesn't. A good house manager can never be lazy. You have to be proactive. You have to be finding things that need to be done because most of the time, no one is going to come and tell you. The principal has employed you for a job, and that is making sure that their life and their house runs perfectly. If they have to tell you every little thing to do, then their life's never going to be perfect because they're going to be spending all their time thinking about what has to be done. You need to be proactive. You can't be lazy. Now, don't misunderstand me. Being physically tired, working too many hours, these do not count as lazy. If you've done a 20-hour shift and you feel like you just can't manage that extra 4, well, goodness knows, that's perfectly reasonable. That's not being lazy. Being lazy is deliberately avoiding things that need to be done when you know you should be doing them. So number 3, on a similar note, is apathetic. You can't merely just go with the status quo. You have to try and push things to a higher level all the time. You must always be showing interest and concern for everything that happens in the house, both to your principal and to your team. If you don't care, if you're not interested, then quite frankly you're never going to be able to do your job well. Now, we always strive for perfection, but perfection, as we all know, is just for God. But we can do our best to get as close to perfection as we can. And if we're giving up on that struggle, thinking that you don't really care, then you need to rethink your values. 4, a good house manager should never be flustered. Always stay calm, whatever the situation is. You're going to have so many different things thrown at you. Superman would not necessarily be able to deal with them. But whether you can deal with them or not, what you must not do is panic. Do not panic. Do not get flustered. Do not be running around. Do not be getting stressed. They're all signs of someone who is not a good manager. Number 5, dishonest. Okay, dishonesty is the worst thing. It is toxic for any working environment. Always be honest about what's happening, how things are going. If you do something wrong, put your hands up and say, I did that wrong. Never let other people take the blame for things that you have done. If anything, you should be shielding the team from blame. Honesty and integrity are the two most important things, and they are the things that your principal will respect the most. Trust me, you being honest and saying, okay, this was my fault, but next time it's going to be better and I will never let it happen again, will get you more respect from the principal than pretending like you've never made a mistake in your life. No one would believe that there's anyone that has never made a mistake, because someone who's never made a mistake is someone who's never learnt anything, and no one wants to be someone who's never learnt anything. Number 6, disrespectful. You should never be disrespectful to anyone. Now, all of you know not to be disrespectful to your principal, to your boss. Everyone knows that, whatever job they do, whether they work in Starbucks, whether they work in a factory, or whether they are running a wonderful palace. But it's equally important not to be disrespectful to your team beneath you. I don't care if the person is washing dishes, scrubbing the paths, mowing the lawn, they're the PA, they're the butler, they're the footman, they're the housekeeper. Every one of these people deserves just as much respect as the principal, and I would expect any good house manager to treat everyone with the utmost respect at all times. Remember, life is about respect and honour. If we don't respect others, no one will respect us. And as a note on this, okay, this is really important, so I want to say this to you. Please listen. You never ever say anything bad about the principal. Okay? Don't get that thought structure going on within your household. Okay? Our principals, sometimes they do absolutely idiotic things. I can't deny it. But don't get that way of thinking amongst the team. Everything you say in front of your team, imagine the principal has just walked in the door behind you and is listening to every word you say. So keep it constructive. Never disrespect them. Because quite frankly, there could easily be one time when they've literally done that and they are standing behind you. And then, to be honest, the only place you're going to be going is the dole office. Okay, so this is my last one. This is number 7, my 7th deadly sin. And this is one that's probably going to confuse people, because I'm going to say weakness. Now, okay, weakness could mean a lot of different things. Weakness could mean like physical or mental weakness. This isn't what I mean. I'm not asking you all to be special forces soldiers. I'm not asking you all to be like crazy hard people. But what I am asking is for you to have the courage of your convictions. If you believe something, you have to work it through. We just spoke about not being disrespectful to our principal, to our clients. Well, as long as we keep the conversation respectful, helping them and advising them about the best course of action, that is sometimes the best way to respect them. Working with the team, always be strong, always be a leader. You should be first up and last to bed every day. Lead from the front. You should be the warrior king on the front line of battle, or queen on the front line of battle. You are Boudica, you are Henry V. If someone in your team is finding it hard to be strong, use your strength, lend your strength to them to help them. So there's my 7. I'll just run them down quickly for you. So, don't be a bully, don't be lazy, don't be apathetic, never get flustered, always be honest, be respectful, and be strong.